Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Allie and welcome to the top comment where I read and react to insane internet chaos in the form of Reddit stories. So if you like this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe. It is free and it means a lot to me. On today's episode, we are going to be looking at some very strange requests, and all of these stories leave me wondering, where do people find the audacity? How big of an ego do you have to have? Comment below before you start watching, and I want to know what the weirdest thing that somebody's asked you for is, like, ever in the history of your life. I will tell you mine, but you're gonna have to wait until the end of the episode, so stick around. Let's get into it. The first story we're going to read comes from r/AITAH, and it says, "Am I the a-hole for saying no to my housemate who asked us all not to shower or flush toilets after 10 p.m.? My housemate is sensitive to sounds and has asked us all not to shower or flush the toilet after 10 p.m. My housemate moved into my family's home, which I am living in due to complicated reasons, including a lot of medical bills. There are 6 of us total, and she asked us all not to shower after 10 p.m. My dad, who owns the house, comes home from work at the hospital at 12 a.m. or later sometimes." I'm sorry, let me stop. Let me get this straight. This housemate, this random person, moved into your family's house that your dad bought, that your family owns, and is trying to demand that nobody shower or flush the toilet past 10 p.m. Crazy people. He tries to accommodate her by taking 30-second showers with the water pressure on basically a tiny drizzle, but I feel bad for him that he can't even take a proper shower after being in the hospital. I sometimes work until late at night to meet deadlines, and it's hard for me to sleep when I go to bed dirty. This rule/request she's trying to impose on all of us feels extremely frustrating and inconvenient, and we have tried to explain to her that we can try to accommodate her if we can, but that our schedules do not always allow for that to work. She keeps asking us not to shower after 10 p.m. and that if we do, we should tell her so that she can sleep outside in a tent or a van, which makes us all feel sort of guilty and uncomfortable. Not her guilt tripping you while she is literally living under your family's roof. She has no right to request this. You can go and buy a pair of headphones. You can sleep with your pillow over your head. You can just get over it too. I mean, that's always an option as well. And maybe try being a little grateful for the people that are housing your ass. The frustrating part is that she showers whenever she wants to, sometimes as late as 12:30 a.m. She can be very loud as well, using her electric toothbrush in the hallways, opening and closing the door to the bathroom half a dozen times within a short period of time before she goes to bed. I'm not sure why she does this. And sometimes she even talks and laughs very loudly at 12 a.m. or later to people on the phone. I basically told her that I can't guarantee that I can meet this request, and sometimes I need to take care of my hygiene needs past 10 p.m. I told her that our house has noises and that's just part of living with other people, assuming you aren't partying or anything, obviously. Am I the a-hole, or is she being unreasonable? Why are you even on Reddit asking these people? Is this not glaringly obvious that you are not the asshole in this situation? You just sound like a pathological people pleaser, so maybe you should try growing a backbone for sure. I mean, I'm a little irritated at you that you're looking at this from the perspective of this bitch is staying with you and she is telling you that you can't shower past 10 p.m. but yet she's sitting there and doing it herself. Sounds like a complete hypocrite who is not even following her own bullshit guidelines that she's trying to impose on you guys. This sounds like a roommate from hell. I think you should kick her out on the street and tell her, you know what, that van is nice. I'm sure it'll be nice and quiet out there. How dare she ask this of you? This is crazy. You and your family really need to all come together, and I'm sure between you and all 6 of your family members, there's one spinal cord between the 6 of you. You should come together and figure out where it is and put this in her place and tell her to eat dirt, kick rocks, bye-bye, peace out. The top comment on this post says, "Not the a-hole, ask her to get headphones. 6 people not being able to do what they want in their own home for one person is crazy." OP responds to that and says, "We have suggested she gets a noise machine, listen to an audiobook, get headphones, earplugs, etc. And she claims that none of those things work for her. She says she still hears noise regardless and then continues to request that we stop showering after 10 p.m. even when we tell her that this is very inconvenient to our schedule. This is is crazy behavior. How can you act like this? Where do you find the audacity to be like this? I could never in my wildest dreams imagine like even running into somebody like this. And I've ran into some pretty entitled people before, but this is a whole new level of chaotic energy that is just, ugh, get this person out of your home. She sounds horrible. She sounds like she's just sucking up all of your energy and being a bitch on top of it. Where do you get off on this? Like, ugh. Humanity has lost it. I'm telling you guys. Whoever wrote the top comment says, if she's going way too far with it and not considering your problems, kick her out. Yeah, I would have kicked her out probably the third time that she got irritated for me showering after 10 p.m. Like, you guys all sound like such pushovers. Don't people please to this extent. You can be a nice person without being a people pleaser. The next comment says, when I lived at home, my dad showered at 5 a.m. and it would wake me up every day. I never complained. I just bought earplugs. Yeah. It's 2025. You can order them on Amazon and have them shipped same day if you want to pay that fee. You can go to the convenience store. Even save a pair from your next flight that you go on. Ask the flight attendant for a couple of pairs and there you go. Problem solved. The last comment says, yes, yes, and yes. I agree with all of these. She thinks it's okay to get her shower late, but nobody else gets to? Nope. Petty me would be turning off the hot water every time she did this. Okay, actually, petty me would be doing it every time she did this. Dad needs to kick her out. No way in hell would I ever let someone dictate when I can shower or do anything in my own home, period. Don't let people boss you around in your own home that you pay for. If she has to sleep in a van or she has to go camping, then that is strictly her own problem. That's nobody else's problem that she's in that situation. I get that you guys are trying to be nice people and I think the gesture is extremely kind. However, you should stand up for yourself and you should set boundaries. Setting boundaries is an amazing, wonderful thing. I love that we are finally in an era of doing this collectively and I would love to see you guys jump on board with it too. So don't let people walk all over you. Go find a backbone and tell her to beat it. I almost forgot that this was an Am I the Asshole story. Clear as day. No, you're... Oh! I just lost a gem. Damn. No, you're not the asshole. Be so for real. Grow up. I love you. Get a backbone. Take this and boop. Tell her to be gone. The next story that we're going to read also comes from AITAH and it says, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother's fiance wear her late mother's wedding dress at my wedding? So I, a 28-year-old woman, am getting married in 2 months and I've planned every detail down to the last flower petal. It's my dream wedding and I've been saving and planning for years. Here's where things get tricky. My younger brother, a 26-year-old man, is engaged to his fiance, Emma, a 24-year-old woman, and she recently lost her mom in a tragic accident. Emma and I have always gotten along fine, but we're not super close. Anyway, her mom had a very beautiful, expensive wedding dress that Emma inherited, and it means a lot to her. A few days ago, Emma came to me in tears, asking if she could wear her late mom's wedding dress to my wedding as a guest. I was totally shocked because this felt off. Like, I totally understand she wants to honor her mom, but I just feel like a wedding dress at someone else's wedding is not the time or place, especially since she knows I have a very specific theme, color palette, and vibe for my big day. Yikes. I told her gently that I didn't think it was appropriate, and she started crying, saying it was the only way she felt her mom could be with her during a major family event. She said she'd never get to see her mom at her own wedding, and wearing the dress felt like a way to keep that connection. Then wear it to your own wedding, Emma. I felt for her, but I held firm that my wedding wasn't the right time or place for that. Well, now my brother is furious with me, saying I'm heartless and selfish, and a bunch of my family members have started to take sides. Some of them are saying Emma's request is deeply sentimental and that I'm being too rigid about wedding rules, while others agree that it's weird for a guest to wear a wedding dress at someone else's wedding. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and my brother says they're considering not coming to the wedding at all unless I change my mind. Good, then don't come. My fiance is supportive of me, but I'm starting to feel guilty because I know this is tied to grief and I don't want to be the bad guy. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let her wear her late mother's wedding dress to my wedding? Your wedding, your rules, your day, within reason, okay? Brides, don't take that as your hint to just go full on bridezilla. I will put you on an episode. But I think if you don't want her to wear a wedding dress to your wedding, you're the one getting married. Why doesn't she just wear it to her wedding? If she really wants to, like, go try it on, go get it fitted, whatever you need to do, and then then go to a professional photography studio and have pictures made. You don't have to wear it to somebody else's wedding. There's such pick me energy. I don't like that vibe. I'm really sorry that she lost her mom. That's absolutely terrible. I feel so sorry for her. Oh my God, I cannot even imagine. I don't even want to think about it. But there are other ways for her to honor her mom at other times that are not at your wedding. You should have only had to say no once. No is a complete sentence. I'm sorry she's making you feel terrible about it too. That's even worse because I get that she's grieving, but this is just really inappropriate. And I'm sure, like, I'm sorry, but if she's a 24-year-old woman, I guarantee she knows wedding etiquette and wedding culture and knows that that ask is really bizarre. I mean, what an odd thing to ask somebody, and then what an odd thing to crash out over when they say no. And at the end of the day, if they still don't want to come, then okay, bye, don't come. That's their fault. That's their choice. Don't let it ruin your big day. You've worked way too hard on this. The top comment says, I don't understand why she doesn't want to wear it to her own wedding. Why would she wear it as a guest to someone else's wedding? Oh my gosh. That comment has 25,000 upvotes and the post itself only has 12,000. So obviously a lot of people are on the same page right now of why doesn't she just wear it to her own wedding? The next comment says, exactly my thoughts. OP, you're not the a-hole. It seems like Emma needs urgent therapy care. It seems like she's reacting that way because of trauma, but I can see you may not be the best person to address that. She should wear the dress in the most significant event where her mother won't be, her own wedding. 11,000 upvotes. The next comment says, exactly. Why would Emma's mother have even been invited to OP's wedding? And if she was, would she have worn a wedding dress there? Of course not. OP, you're not the a-hole. No one should wear a wedding dress to a wedding except the bride, unless the bride specifically asks you to or it's part of the theme. Brides have the right to ask for a lot on their wedding day, but there are certain things that they are not allowed to ask for, and that is don't cover your tattoos, don't color your hair a certain way. Like, those things either need to be left alone or don't have the person be a bridesmaid. Why would she want to wear the same dress that she's wearing to your wedding to potentially her own wedding? Because you know when that day comes around, she's probably going to want to wear the dress again. Do you really want all of your pictures like that? I mean, my social anxiety could never imagine everybody staring and pointing and talking about you, and then you are going to end up on Reddit because some guest is going to go on wedding shaming, and they're going to say, I saw a person wearing a wedding dress to the wedding that was not the bride. You are literally going to end up a viral story in the worst possible way. That's so cringy. Like, Emma, girl, go get some therapy, go get some help. Nobody's going to judge you for doing that. I think people would really applaud you for it. You don't need to be asking these ridiculous questions. This is not your day, girlfriend. Sit down. The next comment says, that's what I was thinking. I don't think it's super common for in-laws of a sibling to be invited to a wedding unless they are already close family friends. But if Emma wants some sort of reminder of her mother there, then is there not a piece of jewelry she could wear, or failing to carry a small photo? Really, Emma is the only one who needs to know that her mother is with her in some way, and that can be accomplished with something small. Wearing the wedding dress just seems like performative grief rather than genuine. I completely agree. This is definitely stepping way too far into the crazy category for me. The next comment says, I mean, does she wear the dress to family reunions? Does her mother have no other clothes? Yeah, wear something small, girl. You could even wear a pair of your mom's socks if you wanted to. I'm sure those are still around. If you inherited a wedding dress, I'm hopeful for you that there is still more that you can go and obtain that's not a full-on wedding dress. If you really have to have the dress there, go get it fitted, and whatever leftover fabric they have, make some earrings out of, tie it around your wrist, make a cute little bracelet, add it into your hair accessories, like something very minimal and small that does not take away from the bride, that is still special to you. There are so many other options that we could get to before wearing the dress, and you just jumped right into wearing the dress, which is insane. The last comment says, you can honor your lost ones in a million different ways that don't put you into the spotlight. At my sister's wedding, me, her, and my mother all wore jewelry fashioned from a pearl necklace inherited from my grandma. What she's doing is putting on a show. That's exactly what I just said. You could easily find something else to do. Emma needs to go to therapy so she can feel better. OP, if she is absolutely going to refuse and not come to your wedding, again, girl, don't let it ruin it for you and your husband. You're going to look back and regret it. I don't know. I think honestly, your brother should dump her because she is showing her true crazy colors right now in front of everybody, and he seems to just be acting like it's nothing and taking her side. Big yikes. I'm so sorry for you. I hope hope things get better. Again, no, you're not the a-hole. You're good. Keep doing you. Keep holding firm boundaries. I'm proud of you for that. The last story we're going to read is a two-parter, and it comes from AITAH as well. And it says, am I the a-hole for refusing to share my lottery winnings with my boyfriend's dog, even though I promised? So I, a 26-year-old woman, won a decent amount in the lottery, about $50,000. Before I won, my boyfriend, a 29-year-old man, and I would always joke about how if I ever hit it big, I'd split it 3 ways between me, him, and his dog Baxter. Baxter is a golden retriever and I love him, but I always thought it was just, a joke. Well, fast forward to me actually winning, and my boyfriend is now dead serious about wanting to give Baxter his share of the money. He insists I promise and that Baxter deserves $10,000 in a dog trust fund for future vet bills, toys, and whatever he needs. I told him that's ridiculous. Baxter is a dog and does not need a trust fund. Now, my boyfriend is calling me selfish and is saying I went back on my word. He says it's not about the dog, it's about me keeping promises, and that shows I don't take our relationship seriously. But seriously, over a dog? Here's where it gets weird. I actually did buy Baxter a pretty fancy dog bed and some expensive treats with part of my winnings. But my boyfriend is saying that doesn't count because it wasn't part of the official $10,000 I supposedly promised. He even brought up going to a lawyer to set up the dog trust fund to make it official. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. So, am I the a-hole for not giving a literal dog a chunk of my lottery winnings, even though I might have jokingly promised? Or is this whole thing just absurd? Now listen here, young lady, you better give that damn dog his money. Yeah, he does need a trust fund. What's he gonna do without it? What the f did we just read? Listen, I obviously love my dogs very much. They are spoiled princes and a princess for sure. Am I gonna give them $10,000 of my lottery winnings if I just won $50,000? Absolutely not. No, be so for real right now. And he's gonna go to a lawyer. You know what? You should have him go to the lawyer. You should tell him, honey, you go and do that. Maybe you should go see the lawyer with him just so that you can see the lawyer's reaction, because I'm so sure any reputable lawyer is gonna sit there and laugh hysterically at this dude for being crazy. You think a handshake holds up? First of all, it was a joke. Second of all, both parties aren't consenting to it. Third, it's your money. And fourth, dump his ass, girl. I love my dogs to death, but money is money. I mean, look at the economy that we're in. It's completely trashed. You should take that $50,000 and please tell me you didn't give your boyfriend any of this money. Please tell me that you just kept the entire amount for yourself, because this man is unhinged, for the streets, weirdo. No, you're not the a-hole. I can't believe he's successfully gaslighting you in this story. You had to come to Reddit. I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. This is the craziest thing I have ever read. So we're gonna see what the comments say. The top comment on this one said, I would not give anything to this motherfucker after that stupid manipulation he tried to pull to get more money from you. Girl, tell him and his dog to pound sand. I beg of you. Girl, you have to kick him out. You cannot keep this man with you. He's just trying to extort you for money in the name of his dog. What is he sitting there with Baxter and they're both just sitting there like this together with their big old puppy dog eyes saying, please give us the money. Please, we need $10,000 for future vet bills. Oh, I can't even imagine. This guy is a master manipulator. I love dogs, but what would you do if I gave you $10,000? Huh? What would you do? Want to speak it into the mic? Tell everybody? What would you do if you won $10,000? Lance says he would buy a bunch of cheese if he had $10,000. So definitely do not do that. You don't want stinky dog farts all night long. The next comment is from OP responding to this. And she says, right? It's wild to me that he thinks this is normal behavior. I never expected to be in a relationship where I'd have to defend myself against a dog trust fund. The f***. Honestly, I'm so pissed right now and I'm seriously thinking about breaking up with him. I love Baxter, but I didn't sign up to be a doggy bank. Oof. Yikes, girl. Yeah, you have to dump him. You can't be with this man. The next comment says, yeah, money can do funny things to people. Keep all the money for yourself and dump this asshat, not the asshole. The last comment says, honestly, why would you even be giving your boyfriend a share? So you got to take all of the risks of gambling and he wants what? Just the reward? I think this has been a really valuable lesson for you about who your boyfriend is. Also, I just want to point out that your boyfriend is trying to argue that you keep your word on a joke handshake deal as if it's binding, but he wants to go to a lawyer to make sure it's official. Like, is this about saying that you need to have integrity and is about trust? Or is it about doing things through a lawyer and to the letter of the law? Seems like it's whatever is going to serve his interest best. Dude, take the 50K and run. Agreed. You need to dump him. I hope you do. And I'm sure we're going to find out because this story has an update with it. The update, well, I guess it's more of like a part 2, but it says, am I the a-hole for breaking up with my boyfriend after the dog trust fund argument? Part 2 of refusing to share my lottery winnings with his dog. So after thinking it over, I, a 26-year-old female, finally confronted my boyfriend, a 29-year-old man, about this whole absurd situation with the dog trust fund. I told him straight up that while I love Baxter, giving $10,000 to a dog is beyond ridiculous, and I can't believe it's turned into such a major issue in our relationship. His reaction? He doubled down. He kept going on about how it's not about the money, even though it's clearly all about the money, and that it is really about trust and me not keeping promises. He even said that I can't keep this promise, again, about a dog. How can he trust me to keep my word on bigger things? At that point, I just couldn't take it anymore. I told him that this whole situation has raised huge red flags and that after 2 years together, I can't believe he's acting like this. I told him flat out that we are ending our relationship because his priorities are completely out of whack. If he's this unreasonable over something so absurd, I can't imagine dealing with those more serious issues down the road. Good for you. Instead of reflecting on what I said, he got defensive and accused me of breaking trust. I'm honestly floored by how this has spiraled. I feel like this breakup was inevitable with how he's been acting. Am I the a-hole for ending a 2-year relationship over a dog trust fund, or is this just as insane as it feels? Yes, girly pop, this is just as insane and unhinged and delulu as it sounds. No, you're not the a-hole. I'm really glad you broke up with him. He seems like a crazy person. You really shouldn't care too much what he thinks about you because at the end of the day, is this somebody you really want in your corner? No. Is this somebody you're probably going to ever talk to again? Also no. You need to just be done, and you are. And I am proud of you. You did not deserve any of this. This is wildly unhinged. You need to tell him Delulu is not always the Salulu, okay? We don't need to be delusional and give money to our dogs. Our dogs wouldn't even know how to spend it. He just wants to extort you, and also he's sitting there and like being such a master manipulator and a gaslighter. Like, he is just disgusting. I'm sorry you had to encounter someone like him, but good for you for thinking ahead into the future because yeah, if he can't even handle this, how is he gonna handle real problems in the real world? Like, he's absolutely gaslighting you and trying to make you feel bad that you're not gonna give the money to the dog, even though you shouldn't give the money to the dog. And you didn't break trust. You didn't have any trust there. There was no promise. There was no agreement. There was no nothing. I'm so sure if I won the lottery, I would look at my dogs and say, yay, we're rich. But really, it's me that's rich and they get to benefit from it. He has a lot of marbles for brains. I don't even think he has a single functioning brain cell. So good for you for getting out of it. The top comment on this one says, please tell me you didn't give him any of your winnings. Edit, OP says she did not give the boyfriend any money. Good for her. She deserves so much better. Congrats on the win as well. The next comment says, in the other post, she said she paid for a new dog bed and some accessories maybe, but he didn't count that amount and still wanted the full $10,000. The next comment says, lawsuit for 2/3 incoming. Obviously. The next comment says, I ain't saying he's a gold digger. And the last comment on this one says, nah, he's a golden retriever. Wow, what a loser. Good for you for breaking up with him. No, you're not the a-hole, not in any regard. I'm glad you broke up with him. And hey, maybe you should go get a dog of your own if you really love him and you miss having him, because as somebody who has 3 dogs, they do make my life so much better. And maybe they would give you some company in this time away from from him, and I hope the next person you date is not crazy. Alrighty, y'all. We're gonna end the episode here today. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with me. I honestly can't believe how much my channel has already grown just being here over the last month. It seems very surreal, and I love you guys so much, so thank you for tuning in. Oh, I told you I was going to tell you what the most unhinged thing somebody has ever asked me was. Not in person, thank God, if they could buy my used bathwater. And I thought that was so disgusting. It almost made me gag. They ended up getting blocked, and I'm pretty sure I also like reported them to Instagram, but that was definitely weird. And it also like came out of left field too. It was when I first restarted my public Instagram account, which is Spicy Ghostberry. If you guys want to go follow my personal account, I'll link it in the description below. But they literally sent me a DM asking if they could buy my dirty bathwater, and I was just so personally offended and so grossed out. And then I told one of my friends about it, and she's like, yeah, dog, there's a whole market for that. And I'm like, that's disgusting. I don't want to kink shame anybody, but at the same time, like, okay, sounds great. So I don't know. I love you guys. The world's a crazy place out there. Please stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you on Thursday for the next one. Thursday's episode is going to be a little bit short because by the time this comes out, I will be just getting back from my brother's wedding. I'm going to go to Indiana for it. I'm super, super excited. So we're going to do things a little bit different and a little bit shorter this week just because of the workload and the time commitment right now. I am running out of time. So I will see y'all on Thursday for the next one. Bye!